In the face of life's most relentless storms, there is a quiet power that resides deep within the human spirit. It isn't a loud declaration of strength or a violent resistance against fate. Instead, it is a steady, unwavering flame, known in Japan as Gaman. To practice Gaman is to endure the seemingly unendurable with patience and dignity. It is the silent resilience of a mountain standing firm against centuries of wind. Today, we peel back the layers of this profound cultural philosophy to understand how the art of suffering and silence can actually become a path toward ultimate inner peace. This isn't just about toughness, it is about the grace found within the grind and the profound wisdom that only surfaces when we refuse to break. To truly grasp Gaman, we must first look at its linguistic and spiritual roots. Originating from Zen Buddhism, the term was initially associated with the concept of the ego or self-attachment. In its earliest sense, it referred to the pride that one must overcome. Over centuries, however, the meaning shifted. It evolved from self-importance to self-restraint. Today, Gaman describes the ability to suppress one's own desires and complaints for the sake of a greater good or a long-term goal. It is the act of biting one's tongue when the world feels unfair, not out of weakness, but out of a calculated, disciplined choice to remain composed. It is the internal alchemy of turning frustration into fortitude. The history of Japan is a testament to the power of Gaman. From the devastating fires of the Edo period to the unimaginable destruction of World War II and the recurring natural disasters like earthquakes and tsunamis, Gaman has been the psychological armor of the people. When the Great East Japan earthquake struck in 2011, the world watched in awe as survivors waited in long, orderly lines for food and water, showing no signs of panic or rage. This wasn't a lack of emotion, but the ultimate expression of Gaman. It is the cultural imperative to maintain dignity when everything else has been stripped away, proving that while we cannot control the disaster, we can always control our response to it. There is an aesthetic quality to Gaman that reflects the Japanese appreciation for the beauty of the struggle. Think of the craftsman who spends decades perfecting a single technique, or the apprentice who endures years of menial tasks before being allowed to touch the tools of the trade. This period of endurance is not seen as wasted time, but as a necessary purification of the spirit. Through the repetitive, often painful process of Gaman, the ego is worn down, much like a rough stone is polished into a gem. The mastery achieved at the end of such a journey is considered superior because it is infused with the character of the person who suffered to attain it. Endurance adds a layer of soul to any endeavor. To understand Gaman is to understand the bamboo. In Japanese folklore and art, bamboo is the ultimate symbol of resilience. It is flexible enough to bend in the strongest typhoons, yet it never snaps. Once the storm passes, it springs back to its upright position, taller and stronger than before. Gaman is that flexibility of the soul. It is the ability to yield to pressure without being crushed by it. If we are too rigid, we break under the weight of our hardships. If we are too soft, we are washed away. Gaman provides the middle path, a structural integrity that allows us to absorb the shocks of life while keeping our core identity intact. We bend so that we may survive. What happens inside the mind of someone practicing Gaman? It is not a state of emptiness, but a state of intense internal dialogue. It involves a constant reframing of pain. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" the practitioner of Gaman asks, "How can I bear this with the most dignity?" It is a process of distancing oneself from the immediate physical or emotional discomfort and viewing it as a temporary condition. This mental distance creates a sanctuary where the spirit remains untouched by external chaos. By choosing not to complain, you deny the hardship the power to define you. You become the master of your internal narrative, choosing silence over the noise of victimhood. However, like any virtue, Gaman has a shadow side. When taken to an extreme, the refusal to speak up can lead to suppressed trauma and immense psychological pressure. In modern Japan, the concept is sometimes criticized for discouraging people from seeking help or for trapped individuals in abusive situations. If Gaman becomes a mask for despair rather than a tool for strength, it loses its spiritual value. The challenge lies in knowing when to endure and when to act. True Gaman requires the wisdom to distinguish between a burden that builds character and a burden that simply destroys the soul. It is a delicate balance between the strength of silence and the necessity of self-preservation. In our modern world of instant gratification and constant venting on social media, the practice of Gaman feels almost countercultural. We're taught that if we feel something, we must express it immediately, but Gaman offers a different perspective, that there is power in the pause. By practicing a bit of endurance in our daily lives, whether it's dealing with a difficult colleague or waiting for a long-term goal, we build a reservoir of mental toughness. This delayed expression allows us to process our emotions more deeply before we let them out. It prevents us from making impulsive decisions driven by temporary anger and helps us maintain a long-term vision in a short-term world. Gaman is often a physical practice as much as a mental one. In traditional martial arts or ascetic practices like Shugendo, practitioners subject themselves to cold waterfalls or long mountain treks to test their Gaman. These physical hardships are meant to mirror life's challenges. When the body screams to stop, but the mind commands it to continue, the boundary between the physical and spiritual begins to blur. You realize that your limits are often far beyond where you thought they were. This physical hardening creates a psychological foundation that says, if I could endure that, I can endure anything. It is the realization that the body is the laboratory where the spirit is forged. What is the ultimate reward for a life of Gaman? It is not necessarily the removal of suffering, but the development of an unshakable inner core. When you have practiced endurance, you no longer fear the hardships of life because you know you have the tools to meet them. There is a profound sense of self-respect that comes from knowing you didn't break when things got hard. This leads to a quiet, understated confidence. You don't need to brag about your strength because it is evident in your composure. The reward is kensho, a glimpse into your true nature, which is far more resilient than the ego ever believed possible. You find that peace is not the absence of struggle, but the mastery of it. Gaman is not about being a victim of circumstance. It is about being the hero of your own endurance. It teaches us that while we cannot always change the world, we can always refine the spirit that meets it. As you go forward, remember the bamboo, strong, flexible, and silent. When the weight of the world feels heavy, take a breath, find your center, and remember that within you lies the capacity to endure, not just to survive, but to transform that struggle into a masterpiece of character. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the heart of Gaman. May you find the strength to stand tall, no matter which way the wind blows.